It's your boy J-Jus. Hope each and every one of you guys is having a safe and blessed day. So y'all, today we are going to be talking about 5 sneakers in particular that you guys can grab for under $250. Now, a lot of these that I put on this list, you definitely gonna be able to grab if you haven't been able to grab them. So with that being said, man, let's jump right into it. So guys, first on the list, we have the New Balance 990 V3 in the navy colorway. Now, of course, this is not of the most popular colorways, you know, especially with the collabs that they've been doing. This is more of one of those subtle, you know, calm colorways that get swept under the rug when it comes to the New Balance. Now, y'all know the V3 is my favorite model out of just the New Balance in general. I do have some other models that I do rock with, but when it comes to the V3, you know, the model is just dope, and it's, you know, just the comfortability of the shoe. And when it comes to this particular model, these aren't going for as much. I want to say that it definitely depends on your size. Now, I do want to say that the gray pair of the New Balance that, you know, I want to say those retail for $110. And, you know, I want to say these right here definitely retail for around the same price. But I want to say on the market, these are ranging anywhere from $90 to $100. I want to say the highest that I've seen was $120. Now, I did go on StockX and I did see that it had most of the pairs for $150. So that definitely let me know that, you know, these might have went up a good $20, $30, which, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's not nothing crazy, but man, for these, you know, definitely, you know, I will say, depending on your size, you might be able to get these for a good price. Because as I mentioned at first, these was going anywhere from $90 to $100. Like I mentioned, the highest was $120 at first, but when I checked back, you know, on the secondary market a few weeks after, it did say $150 for most sizes. So, I mean, if you want to go ahead and grab them, you could grab them right now. But coming up first on the list, guys, we got the New Balance 990 V3 Navy. Next up, and that is the Air Jordan 1 Lucky Greens. Now, the Lucky Greens is one that, you know, I definitely have, you know, been looking for, and I have seen this shoe hit many outlets. Now, I have yet to check my outlet. Now, I will be, you know, hitting my outlet sometime this week or sometime next week to see if, you know, they have that pan there. Because, man, I feel like when it comes to the Air Jordan 1 Lucky Greens, most people probably didn't expect that shoe to sit. But, I mean, nobody really has that love for the Air Jordan 1s that they used to. So, you know, it's crazy to see that those and many of the other colorways that have dropped in the past have sat. But I want to say that these aren't going for much on, you know, the resale market as well. And my size, these are going, I want to say, for $179. I feel like the reason that they at that price point is because of the timing. Had they dropped these around St. Patrick's month, or had they dropped these a few years back, these would have definitely been a major instant sellout. But, you know, man, it all depends on your sizing. But I want to say these are roughly running around that $130 to $140. So, you know, definitely I will say, you know, depending on your size, you definitely will be able to get these for, you know, a much cheaper price, maybe even below retail. Like I mentioned, if you want to check your outlets, you may be able to even get them for a lot less at the outlet, depending, because some outlets be saying they have sales, but it still be full retail price. So you may want to check with them if that is the case, man. But next up on the list, guys, we have the Air Jordan 1 Lucky Green. Third on the list, guys, the Air Jordan 5 Aquas. Now, of course, this is another pair that I do not have, and I simply didn't want this colorway. Now, I did want the New Balance 990 V3 navies, but they didn't have those in my size. But when it came to this colorway, it's not that I didn't like the colorway. It's a dope colorway. I just felt like this was a pair that I didn't need. But I feel like, you know, this is another shoe that is, you know, slept under the rug. I mean, as far as the colorway, I rock with it. you know, but I feel like when it comes to, you know, Air Jordan 5s, it has to be a colorway that most people are rocking with. And I want to say that, you know, this was a pair that, you know, I mean, I seen only, you know, a few select sizes when, you know, me and wifey did go pick up her pair. That these right here, surprisingly, these was, you know, in some sizes. Now I want to say I seen these for about $160. Now I will say that, you know, in some of the higher sizes, I seen these going for maybe 214 to 220. And of course, you know, I feel like that is how it always is. You know, once it comes to the bigger sizes, a lot of shoes may, you know, do well in the bigger sizes before they start to do well in the smaller sizes. So I will say for the smaller sizes, definitely you'll be able to grab a pair for retail, you know, or maybe even below retail. This shoe right here, as I mentioned, nobody really wanted this shoe and definitely sat on shelves when they came out. And I haven't seen these in the outlet as of yet, but as I mentioned, I will be hitting the outlet soon to show you guys what they do got. But man, like, definitely could grab these for a steal. And actually, scratch that, guys, I did see these in the outlet, and I did tell you guys that they did have these in the outlet along with the Air Jordan 2s and a couple of other retros. So, you know, that definitely let your boy know that, man, you definitely might be able to get these for a steal. As I mentioned, I don't know if they're going to be still doing that full retail price, but hopefully, you know, you can maybe get these at a much discounted price, maybe 120, maybe 110. I mean, who knows? But third up on the list, guys, we got the Air Jordan 5. Next up on the list, guys, we have Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds. Now, when it comes to the Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds, man, one of the cleanest OG colorways of the Air Jordan 3 in my opinion. Of course, the original colorway with that Nike Air on the back. But man, it was crazy to see these sitting. And as I mentioned, I definitely wasn't surprised because of majority of the OGs that Jordan Brand has dropped from this year to last year. Those definitely have sat on shelves. And I did mention this in a video a few months ago about all the OGs that you can grab. So if you want to go catch that video, man, I will link it below. But man, like the Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds, I want to say in my size, these were going for around $240 now. I want to say that, you know, prices aren't as stagnant. So I did see for most of the sizes that these went from around $225 to $230. So I definitely will say that this sneaker right here is much more higher on the list than any of the other three that I have named. But I will say that, you know, the Air Jordan 3 Fire Red is definitely a popular model. You know, the Air Jordan 3, definitely an OG colorway that many people have wanted. And I feel like, you know, if you want to grab them, now would be the best time because, I mean, you know, if you want to go ahead and, you know, spend how much you want to spend for it, cool. But I will say that, you know, I haven't seen these in the outlet. I don't think that I will ever see these in the outlet simply because, I mean, you know, they flew off shelves, you know, after a while after they dropped. So, I mean, you know, it wasn't no point in them even, you know, hitting the Nike outlet. But I mean, like I always say, no shoe ever sells out. But man, like, you know, just the retail on these, I believe these retail for $210. So I want to say $30 over retail is what they are going for in my size. And I want to say in more of the select sizes, these are going for $225, as I mentioned, to $230. So, you know, maybe a $15 to $20 difference over retail, which isn't that bad. Coming in at number 4 on the list, guys, we got the Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds. And lastly, we got the Air Jordan 13 Playoffs. Now, of course, I had to put this one on the list because, man, when it came to the Air Jordan 13 Playoffs, you know, as I always mention, Air Jordan 13s don't get the love and respect that they deserve. And I feel like, you know, when these actually did drop, they actually did well than most people thought. But I want to say that I still seen some, you know, sizes actually sitting in store. I want to say I seen men's sizes, grade school sizes. I haven't seen any preschool toddler sizing, but I did, you know, for me to see, you know, those sizes sitting. It definitely let your boy know where, you know, the OGs are sitting as far as, you know, just OG overhype, you know. That's the day and age we live in. But for all the OG sneakerheads, I know you guys grabbed you a pair of these, man. Now, I want to say these are roughly going on the market for $160 now. That's not bad because these actually retail for $210. So these are definitely going below retail. But, you know, in my opinion, the Air Jordan 13 is a sleeper and it's an OG. In my opinion, if you want the shoe, I will say go ahead and grab it now because, as I mentioned, you never know where prices is going to be within the next 2 to 3 years. And man, I'm just strictly, as y'all know, trying to go for all the OGs this year. But man, I will say, you know, I definitely see these doing something later on down the line. And you know, never know. In 2-3 years, this maybe could be a $350, $400 sneaker. But coming in at number 5 on the list, guys, we got the Air Jordan 13 playoffs, man. Let your boy know what you guys think. Leave a like at the end of this video, man. Hit that big subscribe button as well as turning that post notification bell on for the new bangers that are on the way, man. All that being said, like I always say, you got your boy J-Jus, you got the channel, you got my top 5 sneakers for under $250 that you guys can buy right now. I appreciate you guys. Reach for the stars, sky's the limit, and we out.